Yes.
Skip happens. Skip happens. Skip happens.
Here we go. Welcome to the podcast. My name's Skip Clark, Skip Happens podcast host, along with Skip Happens podcast co-host Deb Lamphere, president and founder of the official country music fan club. This is the podcast that will bring you the stories. We will interview the incredible up-and-coming artists out of Music City. Also, we chat with the big stars, and we talk about their journey to stardom. We also love talking to entrepreneurs. Not only that, it's people like you and I. That's all. And just remember, Skip happens. So get over it. Let's get right to the podcast. We try to get over it, but sometimes it's a pretty big hurdle. But we make it happen one way or another. Hello, everybody. It's Skip Clark, as you heard, along with Deb Lamphere, president and founder of the official country music fan club. Yes, tonight we have a gentleman by the name of Shane Owens. And let me tell you a little bit about Shane, though. He makes traditional country music for the modern world. He's going to know I stole this off the web. Timeless and timely. It's a classic sound with a contemporary edge, driven forward by a mix of Southern storytelling. Check this out. The Bible Belt twang and his big booming baritone voice. There it is. Shane Owens, how are you, bud?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on. I hope y'all doing well.
We're doing well, and it's so good to see you again. I think last time Deb and I may have seen you, it was in Nashville back last February.
Way back when.
Yeah, way back when we travel and when we didn't have to worry about anything. But it's good, so good to see you, my friend. Shane, where are you right now? Describe your surroundings a little bit.
I'm in a beautiful vintage room downtown Geneva, Alabama, about 10 miles from my hometown, which is Sampson, Alabama. Facebook Live show here every Thursday night, and the place is just beautiful, man. They have proms here and weddings and all different kind of events, and it's just a beautiful venue, and it belongs to a couple of friends of mine, and they're so sweet to let us come and set up and do what we want to do. So we're right downtown. We're in Geneva, Alabama. 5 minutes from the river, so you know it makes a country boy happy.
Oh, I bet. What's the name of the venue again?
It's called the Vintage Room, downtown Geneva, Alabama.
I love it.
Vintage room. They must have a whole wine room, I'm thinking.
Man, it's unbelievable. You guys are going to have to come to Alabama and let me take you on a tour. They got an outdoor venue. It's huge. 400 or 500 people can get out there. They have shows here. We've done some shows here. We're doing a Christmas show here Thursday night for the community. Looking forward to doing that, and absolutely looking forward to getting out playing some live music.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we bet.
We're a little jealous.
Yeah, a little bit. So they're letting you do shows and all that. You can still get out a little bit. But how is all that working with the obvious that's going on?
Well, you know, we've all got to do abide by the rules, wear a mask, sanitize, try to stay 6 feet apart. You know, and it's just like we were talking earlier. It's hard on us all. 2020 has been a bad year for everybody. But I think the one thing that's going to get us through it is we've got to all stay together, stick together. We got to lean on one another, respect one another more, love one another more, and just be kind. And I think 2021 is going to be a better year for us.
Well, we got the vaccine coming. We know that. You know, it seems like they did it in a hurry, but I think all the scientists and the researchers have done a great job. I mean, all those in our government, whether you agree or disagree, they've all come together to kind of get this vaccine moving in the right direction to get us, so to speak, back on our feet and moving ahead. And so artists like you can get out and do your thing, and people like Deb and I and our friends and listeners, we can get out and enjoy the show. So
absolutely. Like I said, it's been hard on us all. My wife is a supervisor at a hospital. So
oh my Lord.
Been working just endless hours, bless her heart. And all our first responders and everybody on the front lines, our war leaders, we know we owe them a great debt of gratitude, and they're doing the best they can. So we've got to be patient and just do what we're told. And you know, I stress that all the time. We just got to love one another more. And I'm so excited about what 2021 holds for us. We're already filling the calendar back up, and hopefully we'll be able to get out there and see our fans. We miss them.
So what has been going on with you though since this pandemic set in? I know it was right after CRS. It was like early March, and bam, everything came to a standstill. And so, describe what you've been doing. What has Shane Owens been up to?
Well, we've been writing a lot. you know, just taking this downtime. I love to hunt and fish. It's deer season down here, so if I'm not doing interviews or writing or anything like that, I'm in the woods. I'm an avid deer hunter. Both of my sons are avid deer hunters. I get to spend a little time with them through this period, and just you know, we're talking off air a while ago. It's just hard being away from everybody, family, man. You just can't. You know, it's hard to believe we can't go and see mama when you want to, and this, that, and the other. And if you got family like in the hospital and different things like that, it's just been tough on us all. But I'm trying to stay sanitized and practice what everybody's preaching, and just stay safe and write songs. And I count my blessings every day. You know, I've had a wonderful career. We were writing the thick of things last year. We've had, you know, 6 or 7 top 40 hits.
Mm-hmm.
We're currently number 34 on the charts with my new single. So I mean, we've been blessed, man. I can't argue. I don't have anything to fuss about. We've been blessed.
Mm-hmm.
No, you've been doing fantastic. Looking at Spotify, you've got some of like over 590,000 streams on one of your songs and 470 something thousand on another. I just think that is awesome.
It is, you know, like I said, I can't stress enough how blessed we've been. And it's hard not to be able to tour. So I tell everybody it's kind of like taking a piece of candy from a baby and watching them cry. You know? I want to get back out there, but I mean, we just got to just be patient, and we're writing a lot, and you know, we do this Facebook Live thing. We can get everybody virtually, so we can at least behind the camera entertain our friends and fans. We've been so blessed to have so many fans all over the United States. We have people from Slovakia, Australia, Canada tune in on Thursday nights.
Mm-hmm.
We'll sit there. We'll go from 7 to 8 for an hour. We take requests. We do a lot of the hits I've had on the radio, and I love Keith Whitley and Randy Travis and Vern and Haggard and Jones. So we throw some of that stuff in there, and every now and then we'll throw a gospel tune in there, old classic.
Love it. Love it.
Oh.
You know, I saw a picture on social media of you and the late Charlie Pride, and I believe you posted it. How long ago was that?
Well, you know, my second time on the Opry, Charlie was there that night.
Uh-huh.
I've done several things with Charlie in Nashville. We always would. He was always just one of the greatest sweet beings I've ever. For somebody like that, of his legendary status, to always walk in the room and always speak. He always called me by my first name. He never forgot who I was or anybody in the room. He could tell you who the name was. He's one of those artists we'll sadly miss, and one of those artists there'll never be another Charlie Pride. And I got the opportunity to hang out with him on 6 or 7, 8 different occasions. But the night we played the Opry and he was there, he just he kind of just took me under his wing and showed me his appreciation for me being a traditional country artist, because he's one of the best there'll ever be.
Yeah, absolutely. And him setting the standard for, you know, beginning, you know, the old story is when he first started. And I remember a consultant telling me this, that Charlie was so good, but then the record label was like, we can't put your picture on the cover of the album. And they were like, why can't you put my picture? Or he was like, why can't you put my picture on the cover of the album? And they said, because you're black and it won't sell. That is so foolish and so crazy. And look what happened. I mean, he took off. And we talked to, Deb and I chatted with Jimmy Allen about this just a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was even just last week. And it was just amazing how Charlie, you know, took that and just went with it and really just made history and set the standard for these artists. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. You've got great country music. Doesn't matter at all. It's just fabulous.
Well, you know, Charlie had to go through a lot of obstacles I didn't have to go through. A lot of artists didn't have to go through. You know, he was once in a lifetime artist. Like I said, every time we were at a venue or playing somewhere together or running into each other, he would always go out of his way to speak to me. I'll always cherish that memory. That picture was taken last year at the Opry.
Oh,
and
wow.
You know, he was still singing better than he ever has. He's just one of those entertainers that to first of all, to live as long as he did and was still doing what he loved to do, as much as he loved to do it, is a blessing. And just, we miss him so much, man. My heart hurts on account of losing Charlie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a day that goes by right now where I don't think about it. Just, you know, I do the radio side of things, and it's just like, wow, he really set the standard for a lot of the music that we're listening to today.
Yeah.
No,
And
you were really fortunate.
Sadly, we've lost too many here lately. Our legends, you know, Troy Gentry, Don Williams. We were on tour out there in South Dakota when those two passed away, and we've lost Kenny Rogers this year. So many traditional country artists. They're the last of a dying breed.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
The legends, man. They'll always be there in our hearts, and always think of them when we listen to the radio. And you know, I put music on the radio, and now that you've talked about it, and every time I play a Shane Owens tune, it's going to be like, yeah, I remember him talking to me about Charlie and being on that stage at the Opry, and it was just as recent as last year. So fabulous, man. Let's talk about you a little bit, though. Let's talk about your music. How do you come up with the songs that you write, your ideas? Let's just get right into it. Tell us about all that.
Well, you know, man, I think one thing about traditional country music, we've got the most famous fans in the universe. I write songs about ideas I get on a daily basis, whether it's somebody I know that's hurting, going through a bad relationship, or anything, real life. You know, I think that's one thing about country music is everybody can relate to what we're writing out of Nashville and the songs that are coming out of Nashville because everybody lives it. You know, the new single's called Everybody Dies, but Not Everybody Lives. We've already charted, like I said, number 34 on the charts in Music Row, and we want to thank everybody in Nashville at Music Row and you guys for what you do. Because without you guys out there, we couldn't be the artists. You guys make us who we are. But that song, you know, there's so many little things we take for granted in life. None of us are ever promised tomorrow. And, I didn't particularly have a hand in writing that song, but that's another aspect of this business where I've been blessed. I've got some of the biggest songwriters in Nashville I've established relationships with. And we're talking about people like Galen Griffin, Bruce Perch, Jeffrey Steele, Greg Barnhill. They've wrote monster hits from everybody from Aaron Tippin to Tim McGraw and on down the line. So when you've got that type of people believing in what you're doing, and those type of people sending me songs, I love to write. But hey, man, when you got number one songwriters pitching you songs, you want to pay attention.
I can remember the Jeffrey Steele. I've been a fan of Jeffrey since like Boy Howdy, when he had his group Boy Howdy. And I think we actually had him here in the Northeast in Syracuse. That's where we are, for a show here way back in the day. And he was playing, it was his band Boy Howdy. And I'm trying to think of the name of the song. I can't, but I knew he was also a big songwriter, and he has written for so many, like you say. So.
Yeah, you know, the first time I met Jeffrey, we were playing a little honky tonk in Dothan, Alabama. We actually opened up for Jeffrey. I really didn't know who Jeffrey Steele was at the time. I'd heard he was a great songwriter, but I didn't know him personally. He come in there and just blew the roof off the place, man. And he was just sitting there with his acoustic show, and he sung a song called 19 I went in and recorded. And it's a military song. Several people have recorded it since then, but I recorded it first in 2006, had a radio hit with it, and he's just one of those guys that he's a song's best friend.
Wow. Oh, I thought Dad was going to say it was like.
Oh, no, I thought you were going. No, I didn't want to interrupt.
That was that awkward silence that happens every once in a while. But no, go ahead.
No, the funny thing is I probably almost interrupted you at least 5 times. So the one time I didn't interrupt you, I just wasn't ready to talk.
It's hard. No, go ahead.
No, I say what an honor and a privilege to be working with songwriters of that caliber. And you're just right in there with them. And it just goes to show how valuable your talents are to them, just as much as you feel they are to you. I mean, they pick to work with you. That's a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely.
Compliment. That's what I wanted to say.
Absolutely. And like I say, I can't tell you how lucky and blessed we've been to have people like Galen and so many different songwriters, and even Randy. You know, I grew up idolizing Randy Travis when I was in high school. If you'd have told me that he was going to produce my last record, and when I made my Opry debut, I was going to bring him out on the stage, I probably would have said, man, that's one of the craziest things I've ever heard. But I'm living proof. If you just dream big, man, and it'll happen. You know?
Wow. Just amazing. Amazing. So the songwriting sessions that we're talking about the songwriting here a little bit, but have you been doing them like over Zoom, or how is all that working for you? Or do you guys go on like a conference call without Zoom, or how do you do that, Shane?
We haven't wrote on Zoom yet, but we're talking about doing that. I was talking to Galen and David, and he plays bass in my band. My bass player is actually 30 minutes down the road here. He grew up in Alabama as well, so me and him can get together when we want to and write. But it's funny you just said that about the Zoom thing, because we were just talking about that last week, and our management team said, you guys need to get together and write. Everybody's doing it on the Zoom now, and thank goodness for all this social media and virtual stuff that we can get on there and do that. Otherwise we couldn't do it. But we're gonna start Zoom writing probably in the next couple of weeks and see how that goes.
Now, isn't that funny? Because a lot of artists have been doing a lot of Zoom writing, and it's really not their favorite thing to do, but it is what they have to be offered to them right now. So you're just starting. You've been writing on the non-Zoom ways. So.
We we write. I'm going to call this the old school way. We write on a. You remember when Granny had the party line? Now we got the FaceTime and all that good stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
But we've done a lot of writing over the phone here lately too. Or I'll come up with an idea or a hook for a song, and I'll send it to Galen. Galen will send it back to David, or we'll send it to somebody else in Nashville, and everybody put their heads together. And when we've all got what we want to write down, we all put it together, and sometimes it's a hit. Not always, but sometimes it's a hit. Lately, it's been a lot of good hits. This new record we've got called "Thankful for Country Music." I tell everybody, I don't think I'll ever be able to top this one. We've got 11 songs on there, and every one of them could be singles.
When did you start actually playing the guitar, singing? How did you start? Like when you were just 4 or 5 years old, or was it a little bit later in your teen years, or when did all that happen?
Well, it was a little bit later. My first love was football and baseball. I left it for sport. That was my first love. But like I told you, my grandmother was one of my biggest influences. She was a great singer, and she played piano in church. We grew up in singing gospel music in church, just like a lot of other country artists do. A lot of similarities right there in the music, and a lot of other country artists have a gospel music background. So we sung in the choir when we were small and up through my teenage years, but I didn't really take interest in wanting to be a country music singer until after I graduated high school, and seen that the football and the baseball wasn't going to be a career choice for me professionally. And I had a good high school and all, but I knew that wasn't going to be a path for me to take, and I started taking guitar lessons. Had a few people hear me live, and I got kind of lucky. I had a venue down here in Dothan, Alabama, a place called Cowboys, one of the biggest honky tonks in the United States.
Yeah.
We got to go right by it to get to Panama City. So Panama City made us famous, and because everybody likes to go to the beach. But I had a house band gig there for 2 or 3 years, so I really learned how to work a crowd, entertain a crowd, and had a great fan base to start off with. I kind of tell everybody I got spoiled, because a lot of artists don't get that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I need to change the subject. What's the weather like there right now?
Well, the weather today it's been kind of overcast, around 55, 60, not too bad.
All right.
Okay. Last week we got down in the 20s.
Oh no. Oh no. It was 23 here just a little while ago. So just saying.
Well, you're going to do an outdoor concert, so hopefully you won't have that 23 degrees on Thursday.
Well, actually, you're saying it's 55, 60. Is that a little bit cool for this time of the year for there?
Well, we live right down here close to the Gulf, man. It's always hot and humid. We get a lot of humidity down here.
Yeah.
But for this time of year, it's a little bit warm. It's 1 week it'll be in the 20s, the next week it'll be in the 60s. And I guess that's what keeps all the doctors busy. You never know what it's going to be like here.
True.
Well, I guess we got 4 seasons, and sometimes just a little bit harder than like the winter. Like they're predicting a major storm in the Northeast for tomorrow. I want to say it's tomorrow night and Thursday morning. I don't know if you've been watching the news, you'd see it on there. It's crazy. They're saying maybe like a foot of snow. Heavy.
Yeah, but not for us. We might only get 6 or 8 inches. So
yeah,
it's just starting.
Great.
What's that?
We were up there in the nor'easter 2 years ago when we got snowed in, 3-4 foot of snow in New York with no power.
No way. Where were you?
Radio tour?
On a radio tour. I was I wanted to go home so bad.
That's because I want to say we did a radio show. I'm trying to think when that was. We did it at a bar, of course. And your guitar player was Toby's guitar player, I believe.
Rich Eckhart, yes.
Yes, that's it. And I'm trying to think when that was. If that was during that time when I don't know, we had all that snow. If that was part of the radio tour, did we have you come back at another time? I don't know. I don't recall, but
I think it was the same year. We were all over the place that year, and
Yep.
we had a great time that night. But I remember when me and Rich left there, we had a rental car,
yes.
and we were on a radio tour, and we got that rental car. We had like a 6-hour drive, and we barely made it into where we were getting. And he turned that car around on the road and all that snow, and I said, "Man, this might be the last ride."
See, that's an experience. But once you do it, hey, I mean, we drive in it every day, but it's what it is. So, all right. So I switched up the subject here a little bit, but we need to get back on the right track. So we're talking about music. We're talking about 2021, which is right around the corner. So what are you looking at in 2021? You said you've already been booking some shows, and you've got some singles ready, maybe in line. We're working on one right now, and then hopefully one after that, and hopefully you continue to grow. And tell us about the year to come.
Well, we want to get back on the road as soon as we can. The band's hungry. I'm hungry. All artists across the globe are hungry to get back out there. The fans are hungry. It's just, like I said, it's just been tough on us all, but we've got plenty of singles left on this record. Everything we've put out so far has went top 40, top 30. Hopefully this one will be inside the top 20 in a couple of weeks. We're getting excited about that. It's one of the fastest rising singles I've ever had. And, I owe it all to people like you that believe in what we're doing, the band, everybody behind the scenes, my record label, my management, my tour manager, everybody at Country Radio, and all our friends and fans all across the globe. Man, I'm so fortunate and blessed. But we hope 2021, our main goal is to fill that calendar up, get on that bus, go out there, play our music, and help bring some joy to everybody. It's been a rough year. We want to brighten everybody's faces up.
There's going to be so many that are willing and waiting. They just can't wait to step out and get to a show. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy in a good way. And we're all itching to get out. We all are.
We'll be trampling each other just to get into the venue.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. I know. We talk about it, and then I start to flash back, just thinking about everything we've been through just like now up to this point. It's just crazy, like we mentioned before, not being able to see family and not being able to do certain things. We Thanksgiving, was a completely different Thanksgiving than it's ever been. And now with Christmas, just less than 2 weeks away, it's crazy. So
it is crazy. It is crazy, but like I want to reiterate this, and all of us Americans, as human beings, as brothers and sisters, we've got to love each other more. We've got to lean on one another. We've got to learn to be there for one another. There's a lot of things in this life we take for granted, and I think music is one of the greatest gifts that the good Lord ever give us. I think it soothes the soul. It picks everybody up if you're having a bad day without what I do. So we need to just be thankful for the blessings that have been bestowed upon us, and let's all get together and love one another and make 2021 a better place to be.
Absolutely. Where can our viewers and our listeners get a hold of your music?
You have to go to the website, which is ShaneOwensCountryMusic.com. That's ShaneOwensCountryMusic.com.
I like that.
And check out the dates. Maybe we'll be adding some stuff. Go on the merchandise online store there. Check everything out. And my label does a wonderful job of running that website for us. And if you want to check us out on Facebook, go to Shane Owens Country on the Facebook. And we'll be going live Thursday night from this Christmas show. We're going to be doing a lot of old classic Christmas songs. And if you want to tune in from 7 to 8 Central Time,
I'm writing that down.
Yep. So it'd be 8 to 9 hour time in the East Coast, which makes
time. We invite everybody. If you love good Christmas songs and country music, you can sit back, get the popcorn ready and the sweet tea, and lean in the recliner, and we'll put on the show.
I don't know if it'd be
That-
sweet tea.
I love that. That's a very Southern thing to have, is that sweet tea. And I immediately go to the Billy Currington song. I don't know why, but I was going to ask, you said that was a Facebook Live event, right?
Absolutely. Yes,
Okay. I just want to make sure we will.
Yeah, Deb will send that out to all her members of the fan club, which is pretty cool. We share everything that we find out. We share online. Deb does with the official country music fan club. So, even if you just get one more fan out of it, it's always one fan at a time, and it builds. And pretty soon, bam, there you go. Shane Owens, lights. I love it. I love it. Oh man! So tell us a little bit about your band. You said your bass player lives right up the road from you.
Yeah, he grew up in Alabama, but I've had used so many musicians out of Nashville. Used Toby's band there for almost a year. Toby Keiths, Rich, Dink, and all those guys are some of the best musicians on the planet. And Nashville, there's a reason they call it Music City. Everybody there knows how to play. That's the reason 100 people a day move there. You probably got 100 people moving in, and 200 moving out brokenhearted. But that's why I'm so fortunate, man, to have everybody believe in what we're doing. And I'm just proud to be a traditional country artist. And if you hear a Shane Owens record, you're going to know I grew up listening to George Strait and Alan Jackson and Keith Whitley. And there's no denying that. But I got a wonderful band now. They're from all parts of the globe, and we're like one big brotherhood, man. We're just one big family, and we're all itching to get back out there. You don't realize how much you take something for granted till it's not there. We've always been able to play our music and run up and down the roads and count our blessings. But for this past year, like I said, it's just been rough on us all. We're just excited to get out there and just use the talent the good Lord gave us to make music with.
I have to ask, how did you get involved with Toby's band early on? How did you get that? How did all that work?
Well, it's kind of crazy the way things work sometimes. In this business, you got to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody else. And we were downtown Nashville doing some shows. Rich came out. My management talked to his management. We need to get this guy as an opening act. And we were close to doing that, and when all this hit, and we've missed out on several opening gigs for way bigger artists than myself when all this hit. But when two people's got two different management teams, and somebody knows somebody from this management team, and somebody knows somebody from that management team in Nashville, that's usually all it takes. They got a great ear for talent up there, and a lot of people like Toby and. So many different artists, cool. Young and some of those more traditional sounding artists. I want to take somebody like me out on the road with them because our shows match up. That's
awesome. I could actually see you doing something for Toby. I mean, opening up for him. I could actually see you doing that, that would just be heaven for you, I would assume.
Yeah, I met Toby last year. I hung out with him on his bus. We done a show together, me, him, and Gretchen Wilson. And several different artists. The biggest country music venue in the United States, Belmont, Ohio, Jamboree in the Hills.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Over 120,000. We were all on that roster. And being that me and Toby were using the same band, I finally got to meet him, got to hang out with him. What a career he's had, man. Celebrated 25 years of Should Have Been a Cowboy. And we were there that night. And it was just awesome to watch him perform and stand back after we open the show and just watch him hone his craft. He's done it for years, man. When you're out there with somebody like that, there's a lot that you can learn, and you need to take it all in. I've had the opportunity to work with so many big name artists and learn so much from those guys. And, to this day, I can't say a bad word about any of them. They've always been nice to me. And that's one thing I love about country music. There's a mutual respect between artists, radio, friends, fans. We're all one big happy family, and I think that's awesome.
That's absolutely.
I've always said that. Whoops, sorry, Skip.
No. You're good. Don't say you're sorry. Just talk.
I have said that a couple times, a couple different podcasts we were on, and I can't express that enough. That one of the things that totally attracted myself to country music is it is one big family. And I think Brad Paisley had said something a while back, and it just really clicked. I mean, all the fans are loyal to all the artists, and we love everyone, and the artists love each other, and they help each other, teach each other, and support each other more than anything. And you just don't see that in other genres of music.
No, and it's since you've said that, I'll give you some food for thought. How many other different genres of music have in the last 5 or 6 years swayed over to the countryside? They know everybody in Nashville's good people. I mean, there's no denying. They know we're wholesome, we're truthful, what we call good old boys and girls.
Yeah.
And people want to be a part of that. You can see it. The CMAs, ACM, everything. People gravitate toward country music no matter what genre they're in, because I think it's the best genre on the planet.
No doubt.
Great.
Yeah. Bam.
Exactly. That's very well said. Very well
said. Yeah. That I've had the opportunity to work in a different genre of music. Nothing will ever be as good as where I've been for the last, I don't know, 20, even more than that years. But working on the other side, different genre, you don't have the relationship with the artist like we have with the country artist. It's just not there. You hit that right on the head, Shane. That they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to know you. They don't care. They're there to do. And I'm going to piss somebody off in a minute, but they do their show. They get in, they get out, and they leave. You go to a country show, and the artists such as yourself, or even at the level of Garth, he'll take the time to come over and say hello and thank you for being there, and just very courteous, very generous, very real. You could tell he's loving what he's doing, but he also, respects you as a person and a human being, and thanks you for being at the show and so on and so forth. Take the time to talk to you.
That's a perfect example, Garth. I met Garth a few years back, and every time I see Garth, he's just like Charlie was, man. I think there's a whole different kind of mutual respect, over the top mutual respect for anybody in that genre. Garth always walks up. He never forgets your name. To have somebody as big as he is, of his stature, to remember little old me, it's just awesome, man. But he knows where he comes from. He hasn't forgotten where he comes from. He knows what it takes and how hard it is to be Garth Brooks or any country artist out there. I tell everybody. I get one of my most asked questions is what I think about today's country music. I say, hey, we're all talented in a different way. If the good Lord made us all the same, it'd be boring.
Right. I agree.
Take your talent, be thankful of it, do the best you can with it, do the right thing with it, and just be thankful, because it can be here today and gone tomorrow.
Absolutely. Easy come, easy go.
Exactly.
It happened that way. Hey, Christmas is, as we said, just what is it? How many days? It's less than 2 weeks. You must know how many days it is. If I was to ask my wife, she'd tell me how many days, how many hours, how many minutes, and we need to get our shopping done. So
far off.
But is there a particular Christmas song that you prefer to sing? Do you have a favorite, or are they all kind of in the same category?
Well, I love them all, man. But we had the opportunity to go back in and re-record "Christmas in Dixie." Me being from the South, one of my favorite country's Christmas songs growing up. We re-recorded that song 3 years ago, put it out on the radio. It was great. We've got our new Christmas single, "Nothing Compares to Christmas," which I wrote with David and Galen Griffin. It's awesome Christmas song. But I love all the standards, man. "Silent Night," all that good stuff. And every year, just to be performing them for the kids this time of year, and all the kids getting ready to see Santa Claus. And I'm looking so forward to this show Thursday night. There's going to be a lot of people here. Kids going to get to see Santa Claus, and that's my favorite time of year. So I love them all, man.
That's so awesome. And I can't wait to see it. I'm definitely going to tune in on Thursday night. It'll be 8 to 9 Eastern. Is that correct, Deb?
Yes, 8 to 9 Eastern.
I get all messed up with all these times because we talk to a lot of different artists. Some are Central, some are Pacific, and it's
we have messed that time up here and there. So, but I wrote it down.
I'll tell you another cool thing the label's done is we went in and recorded different segments, videos of 12 different Christmas songs. So 12 days out, we're gonna post on my website starting in the morning. Actually, tomorrow will be the 12 days out, 12 days of Christmas starting in the morning. We're going to post a Christmas song every day up until Christmas Day. And we went and recorded them. We recorded them all here at the Vintage Room. We set up all different locations. Just beautiful, man. So for all our fans out there that love Christmas music, all those classics starting tomorrow will be counted down one every day till Christmas Day. So I wanted to get that in there.
I love that.
We'll be looking out for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great idea.
It is.
That's just
Great idea. It wasn't mine.
All right, who gets credit for that one?
Everybody at the label. That's what I'm telling you. I've been fortunate. Keep me straight, man.
oh man, I love it. I got to tell you, you know, you're working with a great bunch of people. You've got a great team behind you because I talk to a lot of these people week in, week out. Just a great bunch of people. You got a great team. I can tell you that from somebody that has to, you know, I take the phone calls and we talk about the artist, but they know how to do it right. And I give them props for at least what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. You know, they work very hard for you, which is cool.
I've been so lucky and blessed once again. I know I keep repeating that word, but I have. I mean, it's the truth. I've been blessed to have a great team, great tour manager, great family, great support. You guys for doing what you do. I mean, everybody, it takes everybody to make a guy like me a star. And they just never cease to amaze me. They always have let me be myself and just, you know, taking upon the talent the good Lord gave me and just let me be Shane. And then they stand behind me and they come up with wonderful ideas like these 12 Days of Christmas and doing the Facebook Live shows. And I've got a great management team. They do all my thinking for me. So at the end of the day, I can just hush and sing.
That makes it easy. Well, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
It doesn't take everything away. You still have to be you and do certain things. But yeah, that would be great. See, Deb is my manager. So no, just kidding.
Listen, behind every good man is a good woman.
Yeah. Well, I got my wife for that, but Deb, business wise, you know, she's awesome. So see, I'm all over the place and she keeps me like, you know, and afterwards, after we do this, we usually sit down, we talk about what was good, what was, you know, how we can do things better and different and this and that. But she's always like very business focused. I'm like, yeah, okay, sounds good.
It works out. In the beginning, I was a little nervous about it because I am a little bit too OCD with business stuff, but he's getting to know me pretty good.
Listen, that's what we got to have, somebody like you and like my label behind the scenes, keeping me and him straight. But, you know, I'm thinking about writing a new song. I tell everybody, and they laugh. I've been married to the same beautiful woman 23 years, and they say, man, how do you do it? And I just tell them, hey, I put my foot down when she leaves. So every man out there needs to practice that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Shane, you know, it's been a pleasure talking to you tonight and getting to know you even a little bit better. We've had conversations in the past, both in Nashville and while you've been on your radio tour, and actually you did a show for us. And it's so good to see you again. And we wish you the best, but we're not going to let you go yet because I have a few questions. We always wrap up our podcast with, I'll have you pick a number between 1 and 25. And Deb and I have actually put a list of questions together. You just give me one of those numbers and I'll ask I got it right here on this little piece of paper. I'll ask the question that corresponds to that number. And you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but it's up to you. So
I'm going to say the number 10.
Number 10. All right. For Secret Services purposes, what would be your code name? For Secret Service purposes, what would be your code name?
Buck, B-U-C-K.
Good. Deer hunter. I love it.
Redneckish.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Pick another one between 1 and 25.
20.
20. Fried or hot chicken?
Fried, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that one.
Absolutely. All right. Let's do like just a couple more.
Let's go 8.
Number 8. Least favorite exercise?
Oh, pull-ups.
God, I can't remember the last time I did a pull-up.
Pull-ups. I hate pull-ups.
Do you work out at all? Do you do it?
I do try to stay in shape. Nothing like I used to. I don't think any of us do used to, but I still try to work out pretty
You
regular.
can climb up into that tree stand, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of exercise. I climb up and climb down a lot during deer season.
And you got to build a tree stand and have it up there, and it's always there when you're ready to go back. All right, so let's do 2 more. Give me another number.
12.
Oh, okay. Most adventurous thing you've done that your parents don't know about, but I don't know, you might have to think back a little bit. Is there anything adventurous? It might be a hard one.
Man, I don't know. I'm pretty low key.
All right. Well, slide. Huh?
Whoop me.
All right, let's do one more.
Let's go 16.
What's the first word that comes to mind?
Country.
That's what it's all about, baby. That's what it's all about. Traditional country and that sound and your voice that fits the traditional country sound so very well. So that's very cool. All right, one more time. You tell everybody your website and where they can listen to your music, and tell us again about the show coming up on Thursday before we let you go. I just want to make sure everybody gets this.
Okay. Go to ShaneOwensCountryMusic.com. That's ShaneOwensCountryMusic.com. Look forward to seeing everybody 7 p.m. Central Time, Thursday night, 7 o'clock. A great Christmas show. Going to throw some traditional country tunes in there, but we're going to do all the old Christmas classics. Going to have a great crowd here at the Vintage Room downtown Geneva, Alabama. We want to wish everybody out there, and you guys especially, a Happy New Year and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Absolutely. Now that's going to be on your Facebook, correct? So
we'll go live at 7 o'clock Thursday night.
Just search Shane Owens Facebook and you will pop up. That's good. Right. Shane, it's been an honor to talk to you again. It's so much fun to catch up, and you're so blessed. I believe in you, your faith, everything about you is just so down to earth and so real. Again, thank you for joining us. And
thank you guys for having me. And I can't thank you guys enough, for you to take your time out of your day to do this and share our music with everybody. We owe you big time, man.
Well, it goes the other way too. So just real quick before we let you go, I got to tell you, if it wasn't for artists like you, we wouldn't be where we are on our side. So it's a full circle type of thing.
Absolutely.
You help us, and everybody's happy, and our listeners love it. So
absolutely.
We'll keep an eye out for your schedule. Hopefully we can catch you in 2021, either at one of your shows, or maybe you'll be in the Northeast.
Or in Nashville. Because Deb is in Nashville quite a bit. I go on occasion, and maybe after this year we'll have another CRS. Well, it won't be virtual, and we can do what we need to do. So, Shane, it's a pleasure, my friend. Be careful, enjoy it. Merry Christmas to you and the fam, and just enjoy life, my friend, and keep putting out that great music.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Happy holidays.
You too.